I realize how the game develops intensely right now, more and more new MMORPG games coming up consistently in several moments. But pixel art game still has become my favorite game's visual, especially where I can play it with my friends. Then pixel art MMORPG is the best games genre to play then. Please help this video get 100 likes, thanks. Top 10 best pixel art MMORPG games on mobile so far. Pixel art MMO games to play with massive player. Born Again. Born Again. This is one of the best pixel art MMORPG, or I would say the most played pixel art MMORPG on mobile and able to trade between the players. The game is quite new, but the developer successfully created new game's innovation by combining roguelike base with MMO. That's why I highly recommend this game for a veteran players because it's really challenging. Just imagine if you are dying by the monster, then your items will be lost. So this game has an intense gameplay that every player should increase the character level and fight the monster from the weaker one. In combat, we can do 3 main skills and those skills will be available since we pick the character selections. The combat mechanism is super smooth even if we can attack while moving. Such a dynamic combat with pixel art games has. The server always reach 100 plus players online each time with various options of Asia, Europe, US and America region. Anyway, you can unlock the graphic setting into 60 FPS, which is option. It's only available in a few pixel games we know. Born Again is the best MMORPG pixel art games for Android and iOS. Hardwood Online. Hardwood Online, I'm sure everyone would love to play it because this game is 100% worth getting in the first place for the MMORPG pixel art game. After playing so long, I don't even have any complaints. Even the game is the best example of what the pixel art MMO should become. There is so many features will blow your mind within a few hours since you play, but I will tell you with the whole features that are available to do in a Hardwood Online. Real-time trade system between the players, PvP or player versus player in a certain arena, mount to ride, and how we are able to craft a new weapon or armor based on variety of the material that required to collect. Playing this game will much better to play in a team. By making a team up, then we can grind together and raise the hero's level even faster. Can you imagine you are playing the most played MMORPG mobile that's ever made, but there is a main reason why they keep loyaling. Probably because there is no autoplay MMORPG and enjoying the best game scenery. Anyway, the developer is pretty active on developing the next update, so you can join on his Discord. Hardwood Online is the best pixel art MMORPG games for Android and iOS. Krum Pixel Art. Krum Pixel Art MMORPG. This game is just a new release pixel art games that I think most of you don't even know and never heard about it. The game's visual reminds me of course of Erors but in lower features. It's pretty makes sense because it's just released a few moments ago, but the graphic is quite adorable. There is only one server, unfortunately the number of the players active is not pretty massive. That makes the player get so many chances of grinding. In fact, we don't even need to buy some equipment in the item store because through killing a common enemy, then we have more chance to get a higher level equipment by looting. The game allows the player to equip a variety of weapons like swords, bow, or even tools as our weapon as well, like an axe. It's good for cutting and gathering some material as well as killing the monster, but the damage given will reduce. So I highly recommend you to use the actual weapon to hunt. The number of the monster is way too much, even if we can easily meet them in the village. Krum is the best new pixel art game MMORPG for Android and iOS. Ragnarok Classic Mobile. RO Ragnarok Battle of Original Hearts or Ragnarok Classic Mobile. As a veteran player on PC, I know how happy you are finding this game that will launch on mobile soon. The game is in development right now in China and this game has 100% similarity with the original version back then. If you never know this game, let me know how good this game was. This is Ragnarok Classic Mobile, which is the first version of the Ragnarok game we ever made. The gameplay has an auto on mobile and the game will easily find his way to the main storyline and also to the monster that we need to kill. The combat mechanism seems quite monotone because we only stand still in one position only. After we reach a new level, then we can place some attributes, point of attack, defense, HP to create your own rule character strengths. But actually it has 2 levels that we need to focus focus on, which is base level and skill level. The skill level is for learning the skill and upgrading the skill level, but overall I love the background music. It is pretty relaxing, memorable and nostalgic. This is the best Ragnarok pixel art MMORPG games for Android and iOS. Lev Stone Story. Lev Stone Story. If you would like to play a simple MMORPG pixel art games, then try this game, because the combat mechanism lets the player to do it by an auto attack. Even if the skill of each hero can be managed by an auto, it will help the players to unleash the skill whenever it's ready. Seriously, the game is absolutely top tier in graphic. I will compare the game with any platforms, and I'm sure this game's graphics are still the best. The gameplay of Lev Stone Story is we will create the best team lanes based on which the heroes recruit we have with the NPC. There are so many options with a variety of weapons like a huge sword, bow and staff, whose job selections as a warrior, mage and also hunter. In the game we can do some features like planting or corpse, and also try to cook and make some items to increase the HP. There are plenty of side missions we can do to get various material or artifacts. Of course, those items are the best way to boost your hero's combat power in a significant numbers. This game is pretty good as a newbie player. The tutorial given is completely perfect. Lev Stone Story is the best pixel art MMORPG games mobile with a dungeon-based system. World of Solaria. World of Solaria. Wow, I was surprised when I played it. The number of the players active is really insane. It has more than 100 players online, but mostly the players are okay by playing in Erors server, which the other server seems quiet. I'm sure you will love to play it because the game lets the player change any job anytime. Like in combat, we can be a warrior, mage, hunter and priest. All of the classes will be adjusted based on the classes you are changing. The skill will be auto adjustment as well, so we can pick and do many kinds of fighting role as we want. The game mechanism lets us tap the empty area to move. It doesn't have any joypad to navigate. Actually, this game is the real open world where we don't need to get into the portal to find the enemy, but you must get into it when you want to level up yourself in a dungeon. Try to grind as many items as you can and trade it to the other players or sell it to gain more in-game gold. Anyway, I love how the world chat is really active. World of Solaria is the best new pixel art MMORPG games for Android and iOS. RCO Online. RCO Online. This game is one of the pioneer pixel art MMORPG games on mobile. I remember how massive the player played this game back then. Even your main character will not show on the screen because it's full of players, and I remember how difficult we are grinding some monster because it's been slayed by the other players. But now the game is getting forgotten. Only a few players are left and play it, but actually I realized how the game's developer keeps the game updates several times. That's why the game always runs perfectly and smoothly now. We'll start with picking a different factions. Each factions will have their own classes role and place in a different world, but in the end we all can meet in the PvP battle area. Since we started the game, we have some skills that are available to use. RCO Online is one of the best pixel art game MMORPG with the most played pixel art game mobile before. I think the developers should start making RCO Online too. It will attract more players rather than keep updating the game. Curse of Erors. Curse of Erors. Since this game was released on mobile, I have never seen this game so quiet. It's always full of players playing it anytime, morning, day and night. So whenever you play, I guarantee most of the players will be active on your server. But before you log in, make sure you check on which server has the most online players, so you can interact with more players to trade the equipment or sell some items with another players. Curse of Erors has a great combat mechanism, but also we can play some attributes points when we reach a new level. The one thing I really like the most is the character will adjust the appearance based on the equipment that we are wearing. In the game, we can do a survival things to gather some material by chopping the wood and start crafting your new goods or equipment. Try to beat any players in PvP and show them all who is the best equipment. This game is really good for you to trade any times because the number of the player playing it is always consistently in a huge number. Curse of Erors is the most played pixel art MMORPG games for Android and iOS. Kili Online. Kili Online MMORPG Mobile. On Google, it has quite a high rating game and has been downloaded by many players, but actually, after I play the game, it's not as many players as I imagine. Even though I'm the only players to play it, the reason why I put this game on my list is because I remember someone asking me to play Kili Online because it has a massive players, and now I approve it. It's totally wrong. Anyway, I think I know what the reason is. The developers are making a lot of server. Much better if they combine or merge the server. But actually, I really love how the game has great navigation control and it's pretty easy to play. The world is super wide. Lucky we are having a horse to move. Would you play these best pixel art MMORPG games? Treasure Hunter Survival. This game is way too good for pixel art in portrait perspective. So far, I have never seen any MMORPG that has a vertical view angle, but this game really caught my attention because of its unique gameplay. We are not only focusing on killing the monster, but also we can try to break the floor to get some equipment. Can you see how many players are active playing it? I didn't find any server options, which that makes the player is only focused on playing in one server only. That's the reason why they can maintain the active players until now. It's kind of a semi-auto game. When we do a grinding or killing while fighting the monster, then we can do a basic attack by not tapping anything on screen. When we tap any button, then the character will stop attacking. This game will help more players to grind more items. I only play the game in early game, but after I show the other equipments, then I can imagine and conclusions if this game is really worth playing as the best MMORPG pixel art games for Android and iOS. RCO Online. Bonus, RCO Online. As a bonus, this game will fit with your preference. Seriously, this game is really adorable in graphic and how the game runs perfectly on any phones. Can you imagine it's been downloading over 5 million players and getting 4.7 stars on the Play Store? It's really intense how the game has so many players that can maintain a high score on the apps. By the way, the gameplay is quite unique. We can switch 3 different weapons of sword, bow and also staff. These all weapons will represent the combat style and how your characters roll. Even the skill will be automatically adjusted. I try to make an action of trade with the other players and it runs successfully. These all are the best pixel art MMORPG games for mobile. I hope you all enjoy this video and support us by tapping the like button. If this video can reach 100 likes, then it would be so awesome. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next video. Thanks.